How do you guys approach that when it's had 2 rough back-to-back weeks? How do you talk about it going into the next game?
We just come positive. We mainly just staying positive with everything. As a player, as a competitor, we want those games. That's the games we're looking forward to show everybody what we can do.
Hey, Zach, what's been the impact of all the injuries you guys are dealing with just in the room, both from a physical and from kind of a mental standpoint, trying to juggle that?
It's been a challenge. Losing Mo and Stretch, those were my main 2, like ones that hurt for me, because I know what those guys do day in, day out, and they live, they work, they practice for this, and seeing that going from Stretch is bad. But both of them in good spirits. I talk to them every day whenever I see them, but y'all gonna see shine from both of them.
Kind of to that point, what have you seen from your kind of new defensive tackle partners now with Boogie out? We saw more T.J. Sanders, Tonka Hemingway, those guys on Saturday. What have you seen from their development?
They've been pretty good, especially T.J. Going from not playing to playing a lot, and having MJ there, he's mainly the oldest guy. So with him, he really gets TJ ready. TJ tried to take some stuff from me, and it kind of don't work out for him. But he's starting to learn like what to do when the blocks come to him.
Yeah, Zach, going back to Dave's question a little bit, playing a team like Georgia, obviously number 1 team, what are some things as a defense that you guys kind of go back and look at, playing an offense like Georgia's?
We had missed tackles, missed fronts. Really, it was on us. Some people didn't go when they were supposed to. Some people was covering when they were supposed to blitz. It's mainly on us. Like what we did it was on us. So we just trying to learn from it now and get ready to play for this game.
Zach, kind of to that, how tricky has it been? Obviously, when you've got a bunch of guys that weren't necessarily starting now, you're breaking in some guys, trying to get everyone familiar with everything. I guess, is that maybe where some of that miscommunication came a little bit?
A little bit, because I think we start like 4 freshmen, because everybody's like out. So we were trying people, and luckily they did a good job. It's just, I guess, the moment right there, the timing, I guess, it may got too big. I'm not sure. So don't quote me on that.
Zach, how can you guys take the last week's performance and maybe kind of use it to help you get to where you want to go? Is there a lot of things you can see that didn't go right and you can build on that going forward?
Yes, sir. There's a lot of stuff that we missed on the table. A lot of layups we missed. That's what we just got done doing today, practicing, working on it, trying to be better than what we showed, because we were 10 times better than what we showed out there that Saturday against Georgia.
Zach, when you say missed fronts, what does that mean?
Like, say somebody was supposed to blitz and they didn't, they were still in coverage. So with that, nobody was there to fill that hole for us, especially when he ran out. Can't remember what play it was, when the quarterback kept it and scrambled. Well, our corner was supposed to blitz on that play, but he didn't come. And he almost scored, but that's mainly it. We just miscommunication. I'm gonna say that.
And just in the film you guys have been able to watch of Charlotte, what have you seen from their offensive line and kind of what they do offensively?
Offensive line wise, they do a good job sliding to the 3-tech. We're trying to work on that. They running back's good. They got their quarterback back, broke like a dozen records, and 3 of their receivers are really good. That's all I keep hearing about their receivers, especially 14.
Hey, Zach, what can you do as a veteran player to help some of these younger guys, especially the freshmen, coming off 2 tough losses, especially the Georgia loss, to help them stay focused and help keep their confidence up?
Really, film. We all, as a defense, we watch film together and point out what we did wrong. Then really we go out there and we work on it with them because, I mean, we'd rather us do it than they do it. And it's like 10 times worse when they mess up than rather than us. So mainly they're learning, especially Nick. Nick don't really need nobody. He's basically going to be like a veteran already. DQ, he's coming along. He played nickel. He not really used to it. He fit that spot, and he's learning well. Like, everybody is growing. And that's one thing about us. We're still growing.
I saw Tonka on at least one play. It looked like he was lined up outside. Is that something that he did more often last week, lining up outside?
A little bit. I don't know why he didn't continue play, but he did some plays that was out there.
Mm-hmm. And you kind of alluded to the Coach Go 30 thing a little earlier about moment being too big. That whole thing on Twitter. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Did you see his saying for y'all?
Oh yeah, I definitely saw that.
Is that something? I mean, I know you guys obviously don't want that type of stuff to happen, and I'm sure
really.
you look at it and laugh when it's other guys, but
when it's
can you laugh at it now, or is that how do you guys kind of look at it?
Looking back at it, it was a lot of stuff that was on us, like the tight end wide open, nobody's on them, and we let that happen all the way. And then he scored a touchdown. Then it's really nothing I could do for that. But the video I seen, it was, at first it wasn't funny. I was kind of mad because we really was out there showing our butt. But after a while, it got a little laugh out of it.
Hey, you know what it's like to have to come in as a freshman and contribute early and the pressure of all that. Talking about Nick, just how impressed are you guys with what he's done stepping right in as a guy who wasn't as maybe as heralded as you were coming into the program and it's sort of taken over that position?
I say Jalen Dickerson and Jalen Foster has got Nick really ready. He always goes to those two with answers, especially Jalen and Jalen. Well, I'm just going to do that. Jalen and Jalen, they both bleed and would do anything for football, especially Jalen Dickerson. That's basically my brother. He loves this game so much, and since he can't play due to injuries, he puts all his time to them. Everything, sun up, sundown, he's trying to get those guys better. And same thing with Foss. Foss is more of a hands-on. When we out there, Foss is like, all right, be ready for this and that. Like, he just listens. And that's one thing that Nick does well. He listens, and then he goes out there and performs.
Hey, Zach. Coming out of, a tough performance like you guys had last week, what was the message from you and kind of the upperclassmen leaders to just some of those younger guys to kind of keep the spirits up coming out of a loss like that?
Just to keep your head up. We got to keep playing. We still got, nine more games, I guess, to play. We 1-2, so we got more football. And we're just going to keep competing. That's one of our main cores. We're just going to compete and keep our heads down and keep fighting.
Zach, obviously we've talked to you, I think, a little bit about Gilbert Edmond. I mean, he's a guy that's playing a bigger role now. I guess just how have you guys kind of seen how he's evolved and come along in his couple of years at South Carolina and kind of what he's able to do now and fit some of those snaps that are there now with Stretch out?
He had to play a big role since Stretch was out. And I say he was ready for it. Some of the stuff he does may hurt us, but he's learning. That's his first time ever actually starting. And he's correcting it now. He's knowing what to do and how to do it. It's just at that time we wasn't expecting Stretch to get hurt, especially it's not like how he got hurt. But he stepped in. He was ready to go. a lot of energy. I say that he got a lot of energy, but he's learning and growing, and that's him, and I'm happy for him.
Zach, you obviously decided to come back for at least one more year. How would you kind of evaluate your performance through these first 3 games, and what's maybe next for you as you get into the final 9?
I've been okay what I've been doing. It's still some stuff that I'm still trying to figure out. Like sometimes I be too high, and I'm trying to correct that now because I'm not trying to be high forever. So I'm trying to stay low, come out, and whenever it's passed, trying to work a pass like quick and not like be passive and wait on it. That's something I'm trying to work on right now. I talked to Coach Lindsay about.
Is that something you can kind of work out in the film room, or is that hands-on in practice? How do you kind of go about solving that problem for yourself?
For me, I'm more of a hands-on person. I rather like go out there and me physically doing it instead of like, okay, well, I see how you did it here. That works sometime, but I'm more of a hands-on type of person to like learn.
Thank you, Zach.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Jalen, obviously offense has been a big topic, coming off the game. What does this offense got to do to just kind of get over some of these hurdles and start playing consistent football?
We just got to go out there and execute the plan, just stick to our coaching and just play the play and just do little things, man. It always comes down to the little things, and that's going to create the bigger picture. So.
What are some of those little things you're mentioning that you kind of feel like you need to clean up on through a quarter of the season so far?
Yeah, so, those little things, that's just stuff that's internal within the program. That's stuff that we know that we got to do. It's not for the public to know. Just stuff that, we got to clean up.
Yeah, Jalen, just what are some of the things that maybe you like about the offense or feel optimistic about? Of course, last week was, against, number 1 team. But even with that in consideration, what are some things that you feel you have, I don't know, I guess some sort of like momentum on?
We got some good things that we're doing well, and then there's some things that we aren't doing so well. But like I said, we just got to clean up some little things, and, that's just stuff that we keeping in-house, and, it's just stuff that we know that we got to go back to the drawing board and, we see exactly what we're doing good and we see what we're doing bad and, just correct those mistakes, man.
Jalen, I know it maybe hasn't been as consistent as you guys would like offensively, but you guys have been pretty explosive compared to last year. I mean, you've put up some more big plays maybe than you did throughout last year. I guess just what do you feel like has maybe gone into that, being able to hit on some of those bigger plays? And I guess what do you feel like has maybe worked with some of that, being your rapport with Spencer and kind of how that's come together as well?
So just building that connection throughout practices and everything. Going throughout practice and everything, and the way just the way we're going about practice and the plays we're calling. Just building that confidence within each other. Just repetition is a big key. Being able to be very consistent within those plays, and then just add on to those as well.
Jalen, you've kind of mentioned just keeping some of that in-house stuff and cleaning that up. From a offensive standpoint, how do you balance the on-field results you guys have had through the first 3 weeks with knowing that this offense is probably going to look a lot better, a lot different as you guys continue to build that connection over the next 9 weeks?
We just got to keep on striving, just keep our head down, just keep on going to work each and every day, just find ways to improve. I feel so great about this team, and I feel great about my teammates and my coaches because I feel like, we got all the right people. We just got to put everything together, and then we just rock out.
Obviously, these last 2 games didn't go the way you wanted, but most players say that you learn a lot more from a loss than you do from a win. Just how much do you feel that in playing those 2 teams, you guys kind of have figured out what you need to do better and kind of now or have a bit more understanding moving forward in the season?
Yeah, so obviously, we definitely learned a lot. We learned a lot of good, we learned a lot of bad. But like I said, that just goes back to the drawing board and just going back to where we need to improve and how can we keep up the good things that. How can we keep up the good things that we got going on and just being more consistent at that. But like I said, man, we learn lessons and then just figure out ways not to keep on repeating those lessons. You feel me?
Okay, you mentioned you're doing some good things. Could you elaborate a little on what exactly the good things are that you're doing?
Yeah, so we're doing good. Just keeping the plays alive. We're doing pretty good on third downs. We're doing good up front. Creating some time for Spencer in the pocket. We're also doing good of playing for each other, which is a big thing for us to do. We have a lot of and the other good is we got a lot of great individual things that's going on. We just got to figure out to make ways for it to be a together, like a collective thing, to happen for everything to be good.
Hey, Jalen. What was the message kind of in the locker room after the Georgia game? How did you guys kind of pick back up mentally after having, a loss like that?
Hey, we just got to go back to the drawing board. Obviously, it was a really good team, but we definitely didn't play up to our potential. Just figuring out how to play up to our potential is a big key for us. But, man, we just got to go back, got to go to work. There's nothing in this world that's going to be handed to you, and you got to work for everything.
Jalen, how much carryover is there from last year with this offense to this year? Is it the same, kind of similar? What can you share about some of that stuff?
In what aspect?
Just like the system, play calls, concepts, just kind of generally across the board. Is it pretty much similar type of stuff you guys are running?
That's something that you're going to have to ask Coach Beamer. I'm sorry I can't answer that.
Spencer was talking a little bit after the game Saturday about how sometimes he feels like they're pressing a little bit, especially when they're falling behind big. Do you feel like the offense is pressing at all? And if so, how do you kind of avoid that and just kind of stay in the game plan even when things aren't going well?
Can you elaborate on what you mean by pressing?
That's just what Spencer said. He felt like he was trying to force the ball a little bit once you guys fell behind.
Oh, I'm not Spencer, so I really couldn't tell you that. I don't know how to answer that question, honestly.
Jalen, you mentioned this offense not playing up to its potential maybe through the first 3 weeks. How close are you guys to reaching that potential, and what does that look like when everything's maybe clicking on all cylinders?
I feel like we're bits away to reaching that potential. But I feel like if we just keep on continuing to get 1% better each and every play, each and every day, it'll be here faster than we know it. But we just got to keep on stacking each day, brick by brick, man. You got to keep on building and collecting stacking the good days. Unstoppable, man. When we're clicking, there's nobody that's going to be able to stop us. All right, thank you.
How's it going, Kai? If you could humor me for a second, describe the perfect hold. What do you need to see to have, in your mind, the perfect hold?
I think it starts with the snap, obviously. Pretty much as soon as I see the snapper bring his hands back, I can see where the ball's coming, and it's normally just a perfect 3 or 4 rotations, which it kind of goes in slow motion for me. And then I try to have my left hand behind, right hand in front, and catch it so I can already have my left hand up top, and then hopefully I don't have to spin it. But if I do, then do it with my right hand, and it's perfect.
Can you take us through that fake punt and kind of the throw you put on there to Kenyon?
Yeah, so it was something that obviously we worked in practice. If the look was going to be there, we'd be able to run it. Fortunately, we came out, and Coach Beamer said, let's run it. And I was like, all right, well, here we go. I threw a little pregame just to kind of get my arm a little loose. I went out there. Luckily, they were in the formation we thought they'd be in. Gave a little pump fake to the linebacker. Actually worked pretty well, surprisingly. And then I just saw Trey running down the seam there and tried to give him a good ball, and he caught it. After looking back at the film, I saw DK running pretty much wide open down the sideline. So that would have been nice to hit him there, but I'm happy we converted it, and Trey made a good play.
Kai, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like you were trying to run another play after the fake punt. Was that what was going on there? Or
I was just like, let's go. I was kind of going like this to the offense over there, like, let's go. I'm running. I'm like trying to get everyone off because right when we get the first down, they're trying to switch personnel. So I think I was just overwhelmed with emotion and just trying to let's go, let's get something going. But no, I was just running.
So you weren't about to line up under center again, or that's not what was going on?
As much as I would have wanted to. No.
Okay.
Kai, how long have you been holding? Does this go back to high school? Like, when did you first, somebody came to you and said, we want you to do this as well as kick?
So it started my freshman year of high school. My high school always just had the quarterback hold. And so my first 2 years in high school, or 3 years, I played quarterback. And so that's when I held in high school. My senior year, I didn't, just because I'd switched to receiver. But I had been training at it then from freshman year, just because that's something I knew I needed to do to play at the next level.
Looking at last year, there were a number of high snaps, low snaps, off snaps that you had to pull down, and Parker still knocked them through. Just what kind of dynamic is that when you have to talk to your kicker and say, hey, even if you see me fumbling with the hold, just come on through?
I think since we've gotten so much work, and now the younger kickers, the newer guys, have seen kind of that I can catch snaps all over, it gives them the confidence, so they're not too worried. I know we've had a few incidents this year, but they've been, for the most part, I've been able to get it down when I've been in. And then we've made the kick, and it's been good. But they have the confidence in me, which is what I'm really grateful for, just because we put in that work, whether it's in individual periods or obviously the game reps that they see. But they trust me, and I trust them, and it's a good operation.
How much do you like just getting to play within this kind of beamer ball system? And, it's not just the punting skills you got, but you kind of get involved in all the rest of it and all the fun, too.
Yeah, I love it. It keeps it interesting. It keeps me kind of back in my high school days, being able to do more than just kick a ball. And it definitely helps the team out, as we've been able to see, whether it's gaining first down, field position, helping the offense out. So I love it, and hopefully we'll get some more stuff up our sleeves.
Yeah, following up on that, with your success with fake punts, have you thought about lobbying Coach Beamer, Coach Satterfield to spend some time in the quarterback's room?
I joke with Coach Sat sometimes when I see him. I'm like, let me get some reps, Coach. But obviously, our quarterbacks are 10 times the quarterback that I am or ever was. But now me and Luke did this on Saturday. We do a little crossbar challenge from 50 yards. And luckily, on Saturday, I hit it first try. So that was kind of a little indicator, maybe some good luck there. But so that's something that I try to get in with the quarterbacks and do, just a little fun competition.
Kyle, I was looking online last night, and a Gamecock fan can now buy a Kai Kroger jersey for $79.99. How does that work from your end? Did you just have to sign some paperwork, and now you'll get a direct deposit once a month if any of the jerseys get sold, or how does that work?
Yeah, so from what I remember, we were sent kind of like a compliance form that we just had to sign off on and date it. And that just I didn't read really the fine print of it, but yeah, I know that obviously the main Fanatics, I think, is the company that does it. They get obviously the large portion, and then we're given a portion of it. I don't exactly know the percentages. But yeah, I would encourage everyone to get your Kai Kroger jersey. I would greatly appreciate it. Good. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
So I was taking a lot of mental reps while he was on the field and I was on the sideline. So just envisioning myself taking those reps. So when he actually went down, it was easy because, I kind of already put myself in that position and, I kind of already went through it in my head.
What goes into a mental rep? What are you actually watching for in that, and how does that actually translate into getting on the field?
You're looking for your keys. So, like, if there's a certain play call, you have certain keys. Like, for me, if there's a call, I'd probably, look at the tackle, his footing. So, and then seeing what the different things he does. So, whenever I'm looking at that and, just working based off of what he does and thinking about what I would do if I was, actually taking a rep. So, it's just envisioning myself doing it.
You use the word easy, but you're kind of thrown in the deep end as far as who the opponent was. Just what was that like as a competitor that kind of add to, the excitement, the motivation to get out there and play, or kind of view it now as kind of just lessons learned against one of the best the country has to offer?
Yeah, as a competitor, you want to play in big games like that. You want to go up against the number one team in the nation. And I took that opportunity, and I just want to go out there and just play really hard, and I feel like I did that.
Gil, I know it's not an easy situation to step into what you're stepping into, but how do you feel like you did from a physical standpoint going up against Georgia, and what's maybe next for your game as you get into the last 9 here?
From a physical standpoint, I think I did really good. I made some pretty good plays when they came my way. I messed up on a couple things, but that just happens whenever you're going up against a really good team. So that just goes with preparing for the next opponent and getting better.
We're kind of to that, I guess, now that you do know you're going to be maybe the starter going forward at least. I guess, is there any more I don't know, for lack of a better term, comfort in it, that you're not necessarily getting thrown in the fire off the bench or anything like that, and that this week you maybe not necessarily prepare differently, but I guess does that help at all, having maybe a little more clarity in terms of what's going to be moving forward for you?
Yeah, definitely. You definitely feel a little bit more comfortable, especially when you're actually getting the reps. The more reps you get, the more comfortable you feel actually being out there. So now that I got some more reps under my belt, I definitely feel more comfortable going out there and starting.
What's kind of the mental aspect of the last couple of weeks looked like for you guys as a defense, trying to adapt to losing so many guys and having so many young guys, playing for the first time? What has that looked like for the group as a unit?
For the defensive group, we preach the next man up, and this is SEC football. So whenever someone goes down, it's the next man up, and that's what we've been doing. Like, the next man has been preparing. Like, we prepare like we're the starters on defense at every position. So whenever somebody goes down and the next man comes up, we're ready to play.
Gilbert, I guess Coach Beamer talks a lot about stopping the run being a core value of this program. What, as a defense, do you guys have to do to maybe stop the run and be a little bit better in that regard going forward?
Being better at stopping the run, we have to be more physical. We have to know what gaps we're fitting in, just be more in tune with your assignment, really.
Gilbert, you mentioned that next man up mentality. Another guy that's been stepping up is Nick Eamon-Wari. What have you seen from him, and how has it been kind of stepping into roles?
Nick, he's just a dog. That's pretty much it. He makes the plays that come his way, and then he goes out the way and makes other people's plays. So he's just a really good kid. He plays hard. He loves the game.
Yo, Gilbert, you mentioned as a competitor wanting to play against the number one team, wanting to go against a team like Georgia. So after that game, what are some things that you guys kind of look at, and as a unit, what are some things that you feel like you learn about your defense going against an offense of that caliber?
Going against a team like that, you kind of just learn the things. You kind of learn from the things you did wrong, I guess. So with us, we kind of just weren't in the right position, I guess, in some of the plays. So we just have to be more detailed on being in where we're supposed to be on the field.
Gilbert, I know it's been, 3-4 years now since you switched from receiver to defensive line. I guess just how do you feel like you've kind of, grown in that position over the last couple of years? And I guess what was it kind of like making that transition as a senior in high school? And I guess how's that kind of come along for you?
I mean, in my senior year, I kind of had this mentality because my coach already let me know that he was going to switch me. So I was like, no matter what position I'm playing, I have to go 100 and be good at it if I want to, get out. So that was just my mentality. No matter where I'm at on the field, just learn it and try to be good at it. That's what I've been trying to do. Just learning from other guys about playing the position and trying to add it to my game.
Zach was in here a little bit earlier talking about some miscommunications on defense. You mentioned gap filling yourself. What goes into that and trying to fix that, especially with so many new players coming in, especially freshmen?
Practice, we practice it. We do a lot of walkthroughs now, and we have to be more, we're being more verbal in practice, getting the call and make sure everybody on the defense is getting the call and just being where we're supposed to be in through walkthroughs and stuff like that.
Gilbert, when you made the switch from receiver to D-line, how much did you have to gain right away weight-wise, and then how much have you put on since you've been here?
So a lot. I don't think a lot of people know this, but I was playing defensive end my senior year at 180 pounds. So, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I was playing at 180 because I just came from Syria. I didn't gain a lot of weight. So after my senior year, I was like, if I could get to maybe 210, 215, maybe I'll be more physically ready to play college football. I guess you definitely have to weigh more, especially in the SEC. But I definitely was eating a lot at the job I was working at. Shout out Roscoe. He was hooking me up with a lot of chicken wings to get my weight up. So yeah, I gained probably my senior year before I got here. I went from 180 to 215, and then since I've been on campus, I came here at 215. I'm up to 253, 255 range. So that's about how much I've gained.
What was the name of the place where you got the wings?
Fats Chicken. Fats, yeah. It's called
And
Fats Chicken Shack.
How much else did you have to eat? I mean, it was one of those where you had to kind of force yourself to
Oh
try
yeah,
to gain
definitely.
weight?
I was probably bringing home probably a 20-piece every night and killing it, forcing myself to eat it actually.
I was going to say, once you got to South Carolina, were chicken wings still on the menu for like gaining weight, or what else did you have to eat, or what went into put on the
I
weight?
ate whatever Kristen had available. I was scarfling everything down.
Did you have like a calorie count you were supposed to hit every day, or just like as much as you could stomach?
Yeah, I was just eating as much as I possibly could.
Gonna stick with the food, I guess.
Yeah.
How many times a day were you eating?
I was eating, well, because Kristen kind of like, because I was talking to her before I actually got here. She kind of told me to like eat every 2 hours, but really I was eating like every time I seen food, I probably was gonna eat it. Like that's how committed I was to it.
And what did a meal typically look like for you from a snack perspective? Because a snack for me is like a bag of chips and a soda. Like, what's a snack look like
In
for
high
you?
school?
Like, no, like when you
Now?
got to, yeah.
A snack here is probably like an entire meal from like ordering out. Like we get like Chick-fil-A, so it'd be like an entire meal, and that would be like a snack technically. So I'd be eating one of those.
Okay, so what was your go-to like chicken wing order? Did you have like a go-to like sauce or anything like that? Or
Oh
was it-
yeah, so Fats, it's family ran, and they're in a couple different locations. So they have this sauce that's called like finger licking sauce. It's like their secret kind of sauce. Probably the best sauce I've ever had since I've been alive. So that was my go-to.
What's it taste like? Is it like a barbecue type thing? Is
I
it
couldn't even describe it. You just got to go try it yourself. You got to go to Florida. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all for having me.
that were out and had some different guys and different roles and things like that. I guess just what's it been like kind of working through that and maybe, getting used to playing alongside different guys, and I guess how's that kind of coming along at least now through at least one game and then into this week as well?
Yeah, just next man up mentality, and everybody has to step up. We SEC players for a reason, so when it's your time to shine, and every one of us are brothers, so I don't think it's really a chemistry thing. You just get in the flow, having the confidence, especially if you haven't had as many reps, so coming in, just playing with confidence, because if we make a mistake, we're going to rally together. As long as you play 100% and you with your brothers, you can never be wrong.
Devo, Zach was in here talking about maybe some miscommunication and some run fits and whatnot against Georgia. How, from a communication standpoint, with so many new guys getting reps, how do you kind of build that in practice or in games, and is that tough to do in the middle of a season?
While in game, mistakes are going to happen. It's never going to be a perfect game. So you just have to be a leader, and especially we have some freshmen playing too, so it's going to be mistakes. You just have to tell them next play, keep going, and make sure their confidence is good. That's all it is. It's mental, 95% mental, 5% physical. So it's just keep their head in the game, and that's all you can do. And then in practice, correct it. But while in game, you got to keep their confidence up and next play. Hey, Debo, what have you seen? I mean, you talked about the freshmen stepping up. What have you seen from Nick Eamon-Warry so far? Just him being a dog, man, being a great player. He obviously is learning a lot as he goes, but he can play, and I'm glad to have him with us.
Hey, Debo, I was looking online last night, and I saw that now the jerseys are available, and your jersey is one of the ones that fans can buy.
Yes, sir.
How do you manage stuff like that during the season versus handling things like that during the off season?
During the season, I try to just stay focused. I'll put a post on social media, and I kind of let my mom, my father, I let them handle it. You put it on your social media because I let my family. Fans are going to see it off the site, and if they want to support, they'll get my jersey. But I put a post out here and there, but during the off season, I'm able to have more time. Like I had a podcast in the off season. I stopped the podcast for a little bit because I just wanted to focus on football. I didn't want there to be any reason why I couldn't match my full potential or what I feel like I can do, so.
I was going to ask about that. Yeah, I hadn't seen an episode in like 4 months. I think you got like 6 or 7 in. Just what kind of made you want to start that, and how has it kind of helped you get to know a lot of the guys on the team?
I feel like football players don't really, not even football players. I started with football because that's what I'm in, and I'm going to branch out. I'm starting back up in January. Granted, we're going to have a great season, and so whenever our season is finished, I'll start back up. But the whole thing was to be able to give spotlight to athletes, because I think athletes are great individuals that people don't get to see. They just think we just play and don't have a voice at all. So I like people to talk about where they come from, how they got here, their story. You know, I want to give a chance to talk about my story too. So that's how that came about. And I just felt like it's a lot of podcasts, but it's older individuals. You know, I wanted to bring a college aspect.
Georgia and Arkansas were both kind of hitting the perimeter pretty hard in both those games. What can you as linebackers do to kind of correct that and kind of get more side to side?
Play fast and physical. Just continue to get more reps at it, and just continue to play harder, 135% to help the DBs out. You know, as a linebacker, you have to play to run first, you know, so that people will hit RPOs. But as our job, we have to play to run first, and then we can come out. But it'll get better, and we'll continue to improve.
Debo, Zach was kind of talking about the Charlotte offense a little bit, and it's been able to put up some points over the course of the season. What have you seen from them, and how tough are their skill guys to be able to go against?
Nobody is a slouch. Everybody that we play are going to be good, you know, so much respect to them, and it's going to be a great game Saturday. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.